Okay, day two in the books. Good day out there. A little rainy, but good chance to get out there, right? Keep building on the systems, more offense in, more defense, more special teams, good fundamental and technique work. Good to see Luke Kuechly out there. It's fun for me to get a chance to see some of these former Panther greats. I know we'll get to see some of them in the coming weeks, so looking forward to getting to know those guys as well. So we'll go ahead and open it up from there.
Frank, just piggybacking off that, who's got more snaps left, Luke or Josh?
There you go. That's a fair question. That's a fair question, but it's fun. It's fun to be around these guys, right? It's fun to be around these guys for sure.
Frank, what's your philosophy on wide receivers in your system? Do you believe in a true XYZ, or are you kind of just like depends on the package?
Yeah, it really depends on the package. I mean, we have it, on paper as XYZ. I'd say there's a little bit of emphasis on that, but not a lot. It really, we're by package, by play, by person, by the player. We break it down play by play. Let's put these guys in the best place to succeed, and let's build packages for the players. And that's been pretty successful for us, so we'll continue to do that.
Coach, what are your free-night draft plans? Are you locked in, or are you going to watch a movie, get your mind free? What are you going to do?
No, this is truly like before game night where, the work is done. So tonight's going to be relaxed. There's been a lot of meetings. Even met with Mr. Tepper and Scott again today. It's been good. The process has been good. We're ready to go.
Do you anticipate an easy night of sleep, or do you think it's going to be, a lot of thinking?
No, I think it'll be a great night's sleep, and excited about the day, excited about the couple days to add to our team, right? This game's all about, players and building this team, this roster, and we have a great opportunity in front of us the next few days.
How, if at all, have you, in the past, adapted your offense for a shorter quarterback?
Well, I would just make this general statement that, for me, the last 5 years, it's been a different quarterback every year. So this will just be. So we always say this, and we've talked about this as an offensive staff. 80% of our offense is going to be kind of core to who we are, and then there's about 20% of it that we're always adapting and adjusting to, depending on who the quarterback is. This will be no different.
Did you fill Mr. Tepper in on the pick, and was he on board as well?
Yes, he is 100% on board, and he's been an instrumental, part of the process. As it's been said, even though he kind of empowered us to make the decision, listen, we all know he's very involved in the best of ways. And as Scott has said repeatedly, although Mr. Tepper empowered Scott and I to make this decision, this was a group effort, right? Starting with the scouts, coaches, everybody together. So really good people, really good process. So we finally get to see the results, and then that's just the beginning. That's just the beginning.
You talked about enjoying the process. What maybe about the process caught you off guard?
Nothing really caught me off guard, but maybe a better way for me to answer your question would be to say, it was fun going through the process with Scott, as, me, a great opportunity for GM and head coach to kind of, get to know each other, more intimately, and, what we're looking for on this team, and how he envisions team building, and, what he sees in players. And so there were just a lot of conversations like that. And I think probably that's what was most exciting for me as far as, the process was concerned.
You mentioned the same thing. You guys see the same or look for the same characteristic, but he never really said what characteristics. What would be some key ones that you guys have in common that you really look for?
I think we're always looking for, grit, number one, grit or toughness, just that ability to continue to find ways to get better, be able to overcome adversity when you're having success, to be able to sustain it. You're looking for players that have good feet, they have good footwork. This game's played from the ground up. You're looking for players who can make good decisions. And you're looking for players who are playmakers, that they have an instinct of making plays. And then they display that in the clutch. So, and then you're looking for players that bring the best out in other people. You're looking for players who really have that X factor, they're that multiplier. They seem to elevate everybody around them.
Coach, you spent a lot of time obviously piecing together this coaching staff, seeing it materialize early on in the practice field. What are some of the things going through your head as you see some of the guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's been great. Coaching staff is top notch. You can see, no egos. Listen, we understand as a coaching staff, this is a player's game, but what I really like is that the coaching staff is very strong, very opinionated, going to coach the players hard, but yet we also know we're going to collaborate with the players. This is, we're doing this together with them, but yet, we're here to do a job, and that's to put these systems in, put the players in the best position possible, and really excited to work with these guys.
Frank, follow up to that. You've got a lot of young guys on the staff, and they're out there running around and really hands-on. We saw Josh kind of running routes and doing stuff like that. As a former position coach, how important is that to not only tell somebody what to do, but also show them what to do?
Yeah, it's great. There's a lot of different ways to teach and learn, but there's nothing like getting out there in the field and doing it and demonstrating it or being involved in it. So, it goes a long way. It goes a long way for sure.
Frank, for everybody who's asking, hey, you got the #1 pick, you know who you're going to pick. Why not announce who you're going to pick right now? Is it the league that tells you they kind of frown on that because of the drama thing? Or what?
No, it's a great question. It's a great question, but I think that, the league has never, not to my knowledge, but, we go through this process. We said at the beginning, Mr. Tepper, Scott, and I sat at the beginning and, made a philosophical decision that we're going to go through the process and we'll announce it on draft day. That's what we're doing.
And to be clear, you've not told that person, right?
Excuse me?
You've not told that person.
That's correct. That's correct.
When that person does come in, obviously there's going to be a lot of pressure. He's heard all the reports. He knows what you guys have done to assemble a group of players around him. How do you not feel like there's been too much pressure being put on that person? How do you convey, not get that person overwhelmed and things like that?
The guys at this level, right? They've been living this their whole life. They're used to the pressure. So, yeah, there's no doubt, and it is new, and it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure. Your point is well taken, and it's all true. But these guys are built for that. This is what you're built for. You feel, as a player when you're coming into this league, and I'm sure as a #1 pick, you feel a little bit destined. You know that you have to earn it, right? These guys, hey, listen, these guys, they know they have to earn it, right? You don't feel like you're entitled at all. You feel like you're destined. You feel like you have to earn it, but you feel like you're going to earn it, and you can't wait to get to work. The players that we talk to, that's the sense I get. The guys that we've talked to in this process, I think, are like that as well.
Brady's back out there, after the ankle. What kind of went into getting him back? Is he ahead of schedule, and what are his limitations?
You said Brady?
Brady Christian.
Yeah. I thought that's what you said. I just think he's a little bit ahead of schedule. Did some, modified individual today, so excited about the progress he's making.
Is he having limitations right now?
Yeah, there's still some limitations, but he's making great progress and excited where he's at.
Expecting him to be out at the time that he is now?
We were, but he's done a great job getting himself ready. So, and it's been good to see him out there.
You mentioned Luke being out there. You're glad to see him. What about having a guy with his presence at practice? What's that mean?
It's a big deal. I was over there talking to him just for a minute after practice, and I don't know Luke that well. I've met him once or twice very briefly, and as I'm sitting there talking to him, I'm kind of wanting to talk to him for a few minutes, and all of a sudden all the defensive players are coming over to, talk to him. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I just stepped out of the way, right? I mean, this is, he's earned that kind of respect around here. We're excited, that he would come around. We're excited that he would come around. So great pro, great person as I've gotten to know him, and just try to pick his brain a little bit. I mean, this guy's unique, so hopefully he'll be around more and more.
Staff at all, or?
I've talked to him, and hey, one day can we? I've kind of broached that with him a few months ago, actually. Don't think he was ready for that conversation yet, but I just tried to maybe plant that seed a little bit. I don't know if he'll ever do it, but certainly we would welcome it if he would.
You've talked about the buy-in of players. David Tepper was out there in the rain the entire practice. I don't know if that's usual for an owner, but what does that say about his commitment to your guys' growth?
It's great. I mean, Mr. Tepper, words can't even begin to express, what we as a coaching staff and, and I think as a team have felt from him, just in a couple months being here. So great support, great insight. Feels like part of the staff almost, but without, it's not overboard, but it's just been very dynamic.
I think we've asked Scott, about, aside from number one pick, other positions that, he'd like to see you guys upgrade at. What can we hear from you? Like, where do you feel like needs to be addressed?
Well, it's funny as I get out there and see our team, it's like in just 2 days of being out in the field, I'm like thinking, wow. I mean, I think we're pretty good, and I like what I see out there. You know what I mean? So, we're coming in. You think, well, maybe we need, here or there. We just listen. Every player in this league knows we're always adding to, right? It's competitive, and we got to all earn our spots. So I'm just looking forward to, getting the best players possible. I really believe that. I mean, it's not so much drafting for need. You have needs that you think about here or there, but even today in our discussions, it's about let's get the best players. Things will work themselves out. There's a little bit of need factored into it here and there, but most of it is get the best players who fit us.
Some of your first couple of moves in free agency were going out and getting defensive linemen who fit this scheme. How important was it in terms of Tuttle and Williams in particular to be able to get those guys in here early?
Big deal. All those free agents that we signed really take a lot of pressure off of us in the draft to, have all these holes that we have to fill. You look at there, and like you said, what we did on defense, what we did on offense, but it all starts up front. So to get D linemen, because of the transition we're making, to this 3-4 and a different style up front, to get a couple guys who fit, who are familiar with it, was a really big move.
Because of what you went through at Indy with just a revolving door at quarterback, how you feel pressure? How much pressure is there to get this top pick right?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is a big pick, right? I mean, so a lot invested in it, and we get to pick our guy. So again, the pressure thing is when it's there all the time, it doesn't even feel like pressure. You're just trying to get better. You're just trying to, we're trying to get the right guys together on this team, build the right kind of offense, defense, and special teams scheme, get the right players. But it's more excitement. It's more excitement to us than pressure. But certainly, it's a great opportunity too. I see it as an opportunity for us to take a significant step as an organization. Thanks, guys.